In Xianfeng, a small heavily forested town, a house on stilts is nearly complete. The timbers are connected by mortise and tenon joints, and no nails or steel parts are used anywhere in the structure. This is a large project. Over 500 various-sized wooden parts are all waiting to be built into a house. The house is being built on a steep hillside, which complicates the project. It takes experience to handle all the issues involved in house construction, and Wan Taoyuan has that experience. He directs overall operations during construction of a stilt house. The houses must take into consideration the topology of the site and requirements of the owners. Wan doesn't need any blueprints since the design is all in his head. Xianfeng is in east of the Wuling Mountains. The hills and ravines in the area make house construction extremely difficult. The clever Tujia people put their houses on wooden stilts to create more space. Stilt houses are very common here. Some stand alone, and others are in groups. Hidden in the woods, stilt houses are popular with Tujia people living in the mountains. The main room of a Tujia stilt house is on the ground level along with one wing, with the rest of the house on stilts. Such a structure provides good ventilation and lighting and helps keep out snakes, insects, and other unwelcome guests. Under the stilted floors, they raise livestock and store firewood. Wan Taoyuan spent his childhood and youth in this stilt house.
我家原来7口人，都住在这个厢房，我和我老婆都住在这个吊脚楼上。在休闲的时候，我老婆就在这个吊脚楼上啊，打海的啊，补衣服啊，或者拿下袜子啦，比较通风向阳，可以站在这个吊脚楼上呢，看四方的景致嘛，还有大路上的情景。
Wan Taoyuan's house is 100 years old. The rotting columns and broken tiles show its age, but Wan Taoyuan hopes to repair and restore it. Worshipping the god of mountains before going into the mountains is an ancient Tujia custom. Today, they plan to find timber for a column. Wan Taoyuan favors tall and straight china fir. The wood is soft and lasts a long time, making it ideal for a stilt house.
就是那根可以的。
After processing, this tree will become a new column to replace the rotten one, thus extending the life of the house. This is the connection between the trees and the woods, and a cozy and secure home. Wan Taoyuan learned carpentry from his grandfather as a child. By 18, he was an expert builder of stilt houses. An expert carpenter draws ink lines on the wood before working on it. They always measure twice and cut once. Building a stilt house does not require sophisticated tools. The structure is held together by mortise and tenon joints rather than nails, but the structure can withstand the wind and rain. This simple construction method was developed over time by generation after generation of carpenters, resulting in safe homes for the Tujia people. The fire pit has been restored after decades of neglect. It is a traditional part of a Tujia kitchen. This was the most important room for the Wan family, which they used for gatherings and guests. The 78-year-old tile expert and his son are honored guests today. Like Wan Taoyuan, they are the owners of a stilt house.
我们那种老屋呢，在以往呢，它就有两姓人，姓王和姓徐，生儿育女嘛，那只有几代这一栋屋的居住吧，那就那一大干又变小干，小干又变小干，做了呢11家人户。他古人都说的了，千金只为没相邻，哪怕是两姓也当一个。哎，王爱群，进来吃饭了。哦。 加塞，那个炒得不好，莫见怪啊。
Two families live in one house. Although the people living in this group of stilt houses come from different backgrounds, they hold deep feelings for each other. "7,000 years ago, people divided a large room into smaller rooms to accommodate more families. The interiors of ancient wooden houses were divided up in a random way as part of the development of Chinese housing culture. This has influenced the Chinese understanding of the relationship between the individual and the group. The renovation of the old house is still underway, while a new stilt house is nearing completion.
时起日良，是天地开场，主家请我祭栋梁。栋梁，栋梁，你身在西密山上，是长在东北之堂，是蟑螂打马云中过，瞧见此木是丞相。我板君子胆子大呀，是看回家。
As the beams go up, Wan Taoyuan improvises songs to bless the process and the newly built house. Building a house is a major event in the life of the Tujia people. The completion of a stilt house means a new start for a family, so the builders leave food and candies to wish the owners abundance in their new home. Wan has witnessed the completion of countless cozy wooden stilt houses. Chinese people often prefer houses of wood. The stilts, beams, and the gabled roof comprise the basic structure. These wooden structures have become more than just functional shelter, as Chinese people develop a deep affection for them. It is September 14, 2017, and the villagers of Tujia village, Jiangxi province, are preparing for the evening's opera performance. They are taking down the soundboards, an important local ceremony. The stage will be ready when the task is down. The seats will soon be filled, and the melodies of Chinese opera will fill the air. Leping is located in northeast Jiangxi province. Over its history of 1,800 years, it has developed a unique culture. Leping's most outstanding feature is the many ancient stages scattered around the area.
Oh, 这个祠堂很老哎，这个祠堂。
Hu Fazhong, builder of Leping ancient stages, began when he was 16, 40 years ago, when he took over from his grandfather.
这个你看到这个画面吧？这个画面都是那个明末清初的工艺，那个特征很明显。
The Qing dynasty Dun Bentang stage has a history of over 300 years.
这个地方，是吧？那个梁子都把它顶起来了。你看这个凤凰尾巴都断了，在这里坏的地方都要全部要皱下。张灯结彩，喜洋洋。
Centuries ago, there were lights and music on this stage enjoyed by large crowds, but the stage was abandoned long ago. Hu Fazhong has become very fond of these decaying wood stages over the last 40 years. Today, he is making plans to renovate this old stage. The Leping villagers like Jiangxi opera, which is the main Chinese opera style in Jiangxi province. The village stage has become a symbol of their very existence. A variety of stories are played out in this small wooden space. The performances reflect the ups and downs of ordinary people's lives. There are different types of stages depending on their function. The operas usually feature themes of humanity, justice, propriety, wisdom, loyalty, filial piety, and faith, all important to the villagers.
下次吧，你看，一个一个都坏的，看到吧？对。
Before the official opening, Hu Fazhong asks his teacher, Mr. Xie, to draw a repair plan for him.
1丈9啊。
The plan is crucial for the repair, as well as original construction of the stage. The diagram can only be drawn up by an expert. The diagrams clearly cover the whole stage, as well as the position of each carving. The expert has a complete image of the stage in his mind before work begins. Like a computer, he must make hundreds of flawless calculations. The stage's beams and columns are all damaged to some extent. The builder attempts to return the appearance to the original by first making prototypes.
这个度高上面的那个指针跟那个器台上是对折的吧？
是一样的，下面是梁子，上面是画方，画方上面有这 T 路画方、L 路画方都有的在上面。
主墨师傅呢有一个最神奇的东西，也是个最神圣的东西是什么呢？就是一个叫度高，我们这边叫度高。一栋建筑的所有的数据，全部是计算在这个度高上面。 谢师傅呢，这根度稿呢，跟着他已经10几年了。每栋房子完成呢，他就把那个上面的那个数据啊，全部把它用那个刨子给它刨掉，刨掉了，再做一栋另外那个新建筑呢，再把它重新就标上去。每次都这样。
This measuring pole is now half its original thickness. The pole contains all the detailed data for a grand stage. After the stage is completed, the marks are all shaved off the measuring pole. Though the pole becomes thinner as the builder grows older, the revived stages enrich the local culture. The builders usually use China fir, redwood, or camphor wood for the Leping stages. The wood is all handcrafted by the experienced masters. The masters believe that only by using the original method can the traditional style of the stage be restored. As most of the parts needed for the renovation are not ready yet, the builders get to work on something very important: the domed portion of ceiling above the stage. In the days before electricity and microphones, this played an important role in amplifying the voices of the performers, a kind of sounding board right above their heads.
那一个戏台的制作造景是在里面是占了一个很重要的位置。首先，它的那个制作工艺呢是很严谨的，很精密的。
The vaulted portion is entirely held together by mortise and tenon joints. If the joints are too loose, the ceiling won't efficiently reinforce the sound. But if they're too tight, the reflected sound will be too weak. It takes a true master to make a good vaulted ceiling. It takes 5 experts 3 days to assemble the 2,338 components. It's due to be completed tonight. This one is
是4.2公分，4公分，这也是4公分，这4公分多一点，4公分3。
The renovation has officially begun, starting with repair of a broken phoenix. This will mainly involve some carving. Any auspicious symbols can be the subject of artist, such as blessings from the heavenly beings and symbols of longevity. The images are created with carving knives, chisels, planes, and hammers. Ancient people recorded their observations on life in wood. The techniques used today have been handed down from the past. This is the first and easiest part of the renovation. Over the next few months, the artisans and builders will restore the stage to the way it looked 300 years ago. Chinese people have long used wood to build structures such as houses and stages. This use of wood has greatly enriched Chinese culture. Chinese people choose to use wood over other materials to build houses. Perhaps they believe that wood best matched the temperament of the Chinese nation because it is also gentle, upright, flexible, and malleable.